students. I hope everyone is safe at your home. Stay home, stay safe. So today we are going to learn Social Studies 10th class first lesson, that is India relief features. So before we are going to enter into the lesson, let me ask you some questions. What is the name of our country? Yes, India. India is the name of our country. Do you know in which continent it is? Yes, you are correct. So India is located in the continent of Asia. Right? Yes. Let me ask you one more question. In which hemisphere India is located? First, do you know what is the meaning of hemisphere? So, students, you know this is globe. What is globe? Globe is a model of the earth. Can you tell me anyone what is the shape of the earth? The shape of the earth is spherical shape. Sphere. Spherical. So this shape is called spherical shape. Right? Yes. So here, what is the meaning of sphere? Sphere means ball. So how is this? It is like a ball. Right? So earth is divided into two equal parts. So this, do you know what is this line? This is called equator. This is 0 degree latitude. So this equator, it is dividing the earth into two equal halves. The top of is called northern hemisphere. Bottom half is called southern hemisphere. So here already we know sphere means it is like a ball. What is hemi? Hemi means half. Half ball. See, this part is half ball, this part is half ball. This is located to the north side and it is located to the south side. That is why it is called northern hemisphere and this is called southern hemisphere. So where is India? In which hemisphere India is located? Is it located in the northern hemisphere or is it located in the southern hemisphere? Identify it in the globe. So where is India? See, here is India. Here is India on the globe. This is India on the globe. Where is equator? See, this is equator line. This is equator line. So here is India. Now tell me, India is located in the northern hemisphere. India is located in the northern hemisphere. So India is very extensive country. Where is it located? And it lies totally in the northern hemisphere. It lies totally in the northern hemisphere. So then what is the location of India? Just now I told you, this is equator, 0 degree latitude. Like that, towards the north side, there are 90 degrees latitudes are there. Towards the south side, there are 90 degree latitudes are there. So what is the location of India? In which latitudes India is located? So India is located between, or the countries means our India's mainland lies between 8 degrees 4 minutes northern and 37 degrees 6 minutes northern latitudes. So why it is located between the northern latitudes? Because in which hemisphere India is located? India is located in the northern hemisphere. Between which northern latitudes India is located? Between 8 degrees 4 minutes and 37 degrees 6 minutes northern latitude India is located. What about in latitude wise? India is located between 68 degrees 7 minutes and 97 degrees 25 minutes eastern longitude. This according to the longitudes. So this is the location of India. So once again I am repeating, what is the location of our country? The country's mainland lies between 8 degrees 4 minutes and 37 degrees 6 minutes northern latitudes and 68 25 minutes eastern longitudes. Between these latitudes and longitudes, our country is located. So, what is the use of these latitudes and longitudes? Already you know, we have learned in the previous classes. Latitudes and longitudes are imaginary lines. They are not real lines. They are only imaginary lines. What is the use of these latitudes and longitudes? Latitudes and longitudes are very helpful for time and travel. Time and travel. See, with the help of latitudes, we can easily locate the places. With the help of latitudes, we can easily locate the places. With the help of longitudes, we can find out the timings of different places. For example, the central longitude of our country. The central longitude of our country is 82.5 degrees eastern longitude. So, which longitude we have taken as the standard meridian of our country? 82.5 degrees eastern longitude. It is the central longitude of our country. We are also called it as Indian Standard Time. Indian Standard Time. So, what is the standard time? What is the Indian Standard Time? Which longitude is known as central longitude? 82.5 degrees eastern longitude. See, is this longitude, is this 82.5 degrees eastern longitude, is it passing through our country? Is it, see here again, 60, what is the longitude, what are the eastern longitudes are there in our country? 68 degrees 7 minutes and 97 degrees 25 minutes. Is it located between 82.5 degrees? Yes, this is located between 82.5 degrees eastern longitude. So, that is why 82.5 degrees eastern longitude as taken as the standard meridian of our country, that is passing near Allahabad. That longitude is passing near Allahabad from our country. Right? See, already just now we have learned. This is the reference for IST, Indian Standard Time. So, based on that longitude, based on that eastern longitude, 82.5 eastern longitude, our Indian time is measured based on this IST. And this IST, our Indian Standard Time, it is 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. It is 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. It means, for example, if the time is 12 midnight in London, if the time is 12 midnight in London, what is the time in India? In our country, time is 5:30 a.m. Morning 5:30 in our country. It means whenever the time is midnight 12 in London, in our country the time is 5:30 a.m. It means this is GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. This is Greenwich Mean Time and this is Indian Standard Time. Indian Standard Time. So just now we have learned Indian Standard Time or 82.5 degrees eastern longitude time. It is 5.5 hours ahead. 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. Okay. So this is the information of our country, India. And we will let us move to the relief features. What are relief features? Do you know the meaning of relief features? Relief features means, see, there are high and low areas are there on the earth's surface. High and low areas are there on the earth's surface. That high and low areas on the earth's surface are known as relief features. Okay. Based on the height, see, in our country there are high and low places are there. Based on their height, entire Indian landmass, it can be divided into 6 relief features. They are called major relief divisions of our country. So that is why India relief features. So what are the relief features of our country? What are the major relief divisions of our country? Major relief division means our entire Indian landmass they are classified into 6 parts. One is the Himalayas. Second one, the Indo-Gangetic Plain. Third, the Peninsula Plateau. Fourth, the coastal plains. Fifth, the Thar Desert. Sixth, the islands. So, what are the major relief divisions of our country? The Himalayas, the Indo-Gangetic Plain, the Peninsula Plateau, the coastal plain, the Thar Desert, and the islands. So, once I will show all these places in our class. So, let us observe carefully. See, this is the physical map of our country. This is the physical map of our country. See, if you observe here, this brown color region. If you observe here, this brown color region, entire brown color region is known as Himalayas. Entire brown color region is known as the Himalayas. Towards the south side, there is a green color. See this region, this is known as plain region. This is Ganga plain region. Here Ganga river flows in this region. So here this region is called Ganga plain region, and this is Indus plain region. Both combined they are called Indo-Gangetic plain. Have you understand? Indo-Gangetic plain. Next, third one is Peninsula Plateau. See this region, this yellow color part and this middle of the region, entire this region is known as Peninsula Plateau. Peninsula Plateau. And fourth one, what is fourth one? The coastal plains. See, where are the coast? See, here is Bay of Bengal, here is Arabian Sea. This region is coastal region. Again, in map always plains shows in which color? Green color. See, if you observe here, along the coast there is green color region is there now. This is coastal plain. This is western coastal plain, and here east side also. This is eastern coastal plain. Both are called coastal plains. And fifth one is the desert, the Thar Desert. There is only one desert is located in our country. That is why we know it is the Thar Desert. Where is Thar Desert? Already you know this is Thar Desert. Most of the Thar Desert is located in the state of Rajasthan. Thar Desert is also called the Great Indian Desert. This is Thar Desert. And sixth one is islands. What are called islands? A piece of land surrounded by water. Where are these islands? These islands are located in the sea, in the Arabian Sea and in the Bay of Bengal. See, here some islands are there, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. These are Andaman and Nicobar Islands. They are located in the Bay of Bengal. And this is Arabian Sea. Here some islands, for example, Lakshadweep Islands. So these are the islands. These are the 6 major relief divisions of our country. Once again I am repeating, these are Himalayan mountains. Towards the south side of Himalayan mountains, these are Indo-Gangetic plains. This region is Peninsula Plateau region, and this one is coastal plains, eastern coastal plains and western coastal plains. And next, this one is the Thar Desert, and next one the islands. Next one is the islands. These are the major relief division. So now one by one we will learn detail. What is the first one? What is the first major relief division of our country? The Himalayas. So let us learn about the Himalayas. See the Himalayan ranges. Just now I show you in your physical map. Himalayan mountains, they are running from here to entire this region is covered with Himalayan mountains. Can you guess what is the direction of Himalayas? From which direction to which direction they are traveling? Yes, you are correct. The Himalayan ranges, they are running from west to east direction. West to east direction. So, what is the direction of the Himalayas? West to east direction. See, if you observe here, what is the form? What is the form of Himalayas? What is the form of Himalayas? See, they are looking like, the Himalayan mountains are looking like an arch. See, when we are going to the temples, near the temple, we will find some arch, no? Like that, Himalayan mountains, They are looking like an arch. So Himalayas mountains, they are running from the west to east direction in the form of an arch. Do you know how many kilometers they have covered in our country? The distance of the Himalayas is about 2,400 kilometers. About 2,400 kilometers. It means Himalayan mountains, they spread almost 2,400 kilometers. That much of distance they have covered. So, Himalayan mountains, the width of the Himalayas is, they are different in different regions. The width of the Himalayas is different in different regions. It means the Himalayas mountains width is not same everywhere. The width of the Himalayas is not same everywhere. It is not same everywhere means the width is different in different regions. In the western region, the width of the Himalayas is 500 kilometers only. 500 kilometers. In the central part of the Himalayas and in the eastern part of the Himalayas, the width of the Himalayas is 200 kilometers. So what is the width of the Himalayas in the western region? 500 kilometers. And in the central and in eastern region, the width of the Himalayas is 200 kilometers. Now tell me, in which region Himalayas are broader? In which region Himalayas are broader? Obviously in the western region. Obviously in the western region Himalayas are broader. How can you say that Himalayas are broader in western region? Because in the western region Himalayas width is 500 kilometers and in the central and eastern region the width of the Himalayas is only 200 kilometers. That is why we can say that Himalayas are broader in the western region. Himalayas are broader in the western region. Then what about altitude of the Himalayas? Altitude, do you know the meaning of altitude? Altitude means height. Is the height same everywhere? Is the altitude same everywhere? No. There are also altitudinal variations across the regions. Across the regions means Himalayas spread to 2,400 kilometers. No. So in these 2,400 kilometers, there are different heights. Himalayan mountains are located in different heights in different regions. That means there are altitudinal variations across the regions in the Himalayan mountains. So just now I told you, Himalayan mountains are spread almost 2,400 kilometers. So entire Himalayan mountains or the Himalayan ranges, they are classified into three parallel ranges. Himalayan mountains are classified or divided into how many ranges? Three ranges. So all the three ranges, they are separated. How they are? One range and second range and third range. All their three ranges, they are separated with valleys. Which kind of valleys they are? They are very deep valleys. For example, now presently there is a war situations between India and China. Chinese soldiers, they attacked our Indian soldiers where in Ladakh valley. So such type of valleys, deep valleys. So the Himalayan mountains, the Himalayan ranges, the three ranges, they are separated with deep valleys and also extensive plateaus. They are separated. What are separated with deep valleys and extensive plateaus? Himalayan ranges. The three Himalayan ranges, they are separated with deep valleys and extensive plateaus. So now tell me, Himalayan ranges are classified into how many types? Three types or three ranges. Himalayan mountains are classified into three ranges. Do you know what are the three ranges? Let us learn. What are the Himalayan ranges? They are classified into three ranges. One is Greater Himalayas or Himadri. Second, Lesser Himalayas or Himachal. Third, Outer Himalayas or Shivaliks. So entire Himalayan ranges, they are classified into three ranges. One is Greater Himalayas, second one is Lesser Himalayas, third one is Outer Himalayas. What is the other name of Greater Himalayas? Himadri. What is the other name of lesser Himalayas? Himachal. What is the other name of outer Himalayas? Shivaliks. What are these three? These three are the Himalayan ranges. See, what about Greater Himalayas? What are called Greater Himalayas? What is the definition of Greater Himalayas? Greater Himalayas means the northernmost range of the Himalayas are known as Greater Himalayas. The northernmost range of the Himalayas. It means just now we have learned Himalayan mountains are classified into three parallel ranges. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Himalayan ranges are classified into three parallel ranges. This is first range. What is this range? This is Greater Himalayas. Second one, this is Lesser Himalayas. Third one, Outer Himalayas. This is second one. This is third one. See, in the just now I told you, all these three ranges they are separated with. How they are separated? They are separated with deep valleys and extensive plateaus. How they are separated? They are separated with deep valleys and extensive plateaus. So what is this first range? Greater Himalayas. Where is this? Is it located to the north side, or is it located between, or is it located in the south side? It is located in the north side. Northernmost range. In these three ranges, this one is northernmost range. That is why the northernmost range of the Himalayas are known as Greater Himalayas. Is it clear? So, what are the characteristics of these Greater Himalayas? What are the specialties? What are the special characters of these Greater Himalayas? See, these Greater Himalayas, they are most continuous range. It means there are no gaps between the ranges. They are the most continuous range. They spread continuously. They spread continuously from starting to ending point almost. So they are the most continuous range. What they consist? What is the importance? They are consisting of highest peaks. It means in these three ranges, highest regions, peaks, they are called peaks. Highest top part of the mountains, highest peaks are located in the Greater Himalayas. What is the height? What is the height? Average elevation means height. Average height of the Greater Himalayas is only Greater Himalayas. Average height of Greater Himalayas is about 6,100 meters above mean sea level. So mean sea level, from mean sea level, it is above 6,100 meters. That is the average height of the Greater Himalayas. How they are composed? How these Himalayas composed? Do you know how they are composed? They are composed of snow and ice. How they are composed? They are composed of snow and ice. See, because of that snow and ice, because of that seasonal accumulation, in every season, always snow appears there. So, because of the seasonal accumulation of ice, what will be formed there? That ice caps, it will be turned into glaciers. Glaciers will be formed. So, the seasonal accumulation of ice, the movement of the glaciers, when there is heavy temperature, the glaciers will be melted. So, the movement and melting of the glaciers, they are the source of the perennial rivers. Do you know what are called perennial rivers? Perennial rivers means the rivers which flow throughout the year. The rivers which flow throughout the year, they are known as perennial rivers. All the Himalayan rivers are perennial rivers. What is the reason? Because this region is composed from snow and ice. That seasonal accumulation of snow and ice and movement of the glaciers and melting of the glaciers, they are the reason for the perennial rivers. All the Himalayan rivers, Indus River, Ganga River, Brahmaputra River, all these rivers are perennial rivers. It means they continuously flow throughout the year. Have you understand? What are the characteristics of Greater Himalayas? The northernmost range of the Himalayas known as Greater Himalayas. The other name of the Greater Himalayas is Himalayan, Greater Himalayas are the most continuous range. They are consisting highest peaks and average elevation, average height of the Himalayas, Greater Himalayas is about 6,100 meters, and they are composed of snow and ice cover. Seasonal accumulation of ice, movement and melting of glaciers are the reason for the perennial rivers. Okay. Now let us learn about the second range of the Himalayas is Lesser Himalayas. What is the other name of Lesser Himalayas? Himachal. So this is Lesser Himalayas. What is the definition of Lesser Himalayas? If you observe here, just now we have learned the definition of Greater Himalayas. Where is Greater Himalayas? It is the northernmost range. Greater Himalayas is the northernmost range. This is Lesser Himalayas. Where is this? It is located between the Greater Himalayas and the Outer Himalayas. See, we have created two more definitions for this. First, let us learn common definition of Lesser Himalayas. Lesser Himalayas means the portion of range which is found south side of the Greater Himalayas. South side of the Greater Himalayas. Where are these Lesser Himalayas? These Lesser Himalayas are located to the south side of Greater Himalayas. To the south side of Greater Himalayas. The portion of range found to the south side of Greater Himalayas are known as Lesser Himalayas. This is the textbook definition. Now we have to create a new definition. Right? So create new definition. The range, the portion of Himalayan range which is located between the Greater Himalayas and Outer Himalayas are known as Lesser Himalayas. Is it clear? This is also correct definition, and we have to create one more definition. We have to use our brain. We have to create one more definition. The portion of range found to the north side of the Outer Himalayas. The portion of range found north side to the Outer Himalayas are known as Lesser Himalayas. Anything is correct. So what is the textbook definition? The portion of range found to the south side of Greater Himalayas are known as Lesser Himalayas. Is it clear? Right. So what are the characteristics of Lesser Himalayas? Lesser Himalayas are the most rugged relief. Most rugged relief means they have, this region is entirely, it has a broken region. It has a broken region and it is a rocky region. Entire region is covered with different kinds of rocks, and it is uneven region. It is not a plain region. It is entirely uneven region. Such type of region is called rugged relief. And how it is composed? Just now we have learned Greater Himalayas are composed of snow and ice. How this region is composed? This region is composed by highly compressed rocks. Highly compressed rocks. What is highly compressed rocks? See, in this region, the rocks are flattened by pressure. Rocks are flattened by pressure. So they are composed by highly compressed rocks. What is the height of these Himalayas, these Lesser Himalayas? We have learned. See, here we have learned the average Greater Himalayas average height we have learned just now. What is the average height about? What is the average height of the Greater Himalayas? Average height is about 6,100 meters. This is average height. So here Lesser Himalayas height range starts from 3,700 to 4,500 meters. It means here these ranges are located between the 3,700 to 4,500 meters. Now we have to find out the height of Greater Himalayas. With the help of this height, we have to identify what is the height of the Greater Himalayas. What is the height of the Lesser Himalayas? Tell me, what is the height? What is the height ranges of Lesser Himalayas? 3,700 to 4,500. No. What is the height of Greater Himalayas? Above 4,500 meters. Above 4,500 meters. What is the height Then what is the height of Lesser Himalayas? 3,700 to 4,500 meters. 3,700 to 4,500 meters. So the height ranges starts from 3,700 to 4,500 meters. Now we have to add one more point here. The height of the Greater Himalayas is above 4,500 meters. The height of the Outer Himalayas is below 3,700 meters. What is the height of the Lesser Himalayas? Lesser Himalayas height ranges from between 3,700 to 4,500 meters. What are the important ranges in this region? What are the important ranges in this Lesser Himalayas? There are two important ranges are there in this Lesser Himalayas. One is Peer Panjal range. Peer Panjal range is one of the most important range, and second one is Mahabharata range. These are the two important ranges in the Lesser Himalayas. There are famous valleys are there in this region. What are there? Just now we have learned. These three ranges, they are separated by deep valleys and extensive plateaus. So Lesser Himalayas is very famous for valleys. What are the famous valleys are situated in the Lesser Himalayas? Kashmir Valley, Kangra Valley and Kulu Valley. These are the famous valleys situated in Lesser Himalayas. Already you know Kashmir Valley is located in the state of Kashmir. Kangra and Kulu Valley, these two are located in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Tell me what are the famous valleys situated in Lesser Himalayas? Kashmir Valley, Kangra and Kulu Valley. These are the three famous valleys, and some more valleys are there, but these are the famous valleys situated in the Lesser Himalayas. Lesser Himalayas is also famous for hill stations. What are the famous hill stations situated in this Lesser Himalayas region? Shimla, Mussoorie, Nainital, Ranikhet. What are all these? These are famous hill stations. These are famous hill stations. Already you know Shimla, it is the capital city of Himachal Pradesh. It is located in the state of Himachal Pradesh. It is famous hill station. It is famous tourist place. Whenever summer comes, most of the people they went to Shimla for cooling and for their entertainment. Right? In the same way, Mussoorie is another hill station. Nainital, Ranikhet. These three they are located in the state of Uttarakhand. These three they are located in the state of Uttarakhand. What are these? These are all famous hill stations. In which Himalayan region, in which Himalayan range these hill stations, valleys and these ranges are located? All these ranges are located in the Lesser Himalayas region. Okay, this is the information about Lesser Himalayas. And now we will learn about third Himalayan range, that is Outer Himalayas. What is the other name of Outer Himalayas? Shivaliks. Okay? Yes. The third range of the Himalayas is known as Outer Himalayas or Shivaliks. What is the definition of Shivaliks? Shivaliks means the southernmost range of Himalayas are known as Shivaliks. Southernmost range. See, this is the third range, Outer Himalayas or Shivaliks. Where is this? It is located to the south side. To the south side. This is the southernmost range. The southernmost range of the Himalayas are known as Shivaliks. Northernmost range is known as Greater Himalayas. Southernmost range is known as Shivaliks. What is the other name of Shivaliks? Outer Himalayas. Is it clear? Have you understand the definition? The southernmost range of the Himalayas are known as Shivaliks or Outer Himalayas. What are the characteristics of Shivaliks? What is the width? The width of the Shivalik mountains is 10 to 50 kilometers. It means in some region it is 10 kilometers the width, and in other region the Shivalik's width is 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers, like that. The width is located between 10 to 50 kilometers. And what about altitude? Height. Just now we have learned the altitude. The height is below 3,700 meters. So here altitude is different between 900 and 1100 meters. It means in this region the mountains located between 900 and 1100 meters only. So these Shivalik mountains, they are called different names in different regions. Entirely all this region is called Shivaliks, but in some places, in different places, they are called different names. Shivalik mountains are called different names in different regions. Shall we know that what are the different names? In Jammu region. In Jammu region, Shivalik mountains are called Jammu Hills. In the state of Arunachal Pradesh, these Shivalik ranges are called Mishmi Hills. In the Arunachal Pradesh state, Shivalik ranges are called Mishmi Hills. In the state of Assam, Shivalik ranges are called Kachar Hills. What they are called? Kachar Hills in the state of Assam. Like that, total entire region is Shivaliks, but they are called differently in different regions. In the state of Jammu, they are called Jammu Hills. In the state of Arunachal Pradesh, they are called Mishmi Hills. In the state of Assam, they are called Kachar Hills. Right? Yes. So let us learn one more last topic, that is dunes. Do you know the meaning of dunes? Dunes means, just now we have learnt, all these three ranges, they are separated with deep valleys and extensive plateaus. How they are separated? One range and another range, and another range and another range, they are separated with deep valleys and extensive plateaus. So there are some valleys here. This region, Lesser Himalayas region and Shivalik region. Lesser Himalayan range and Shivalik range. How they are separated? They are separated with the valleys. There are some valleys are there here. Between Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks, there are some valleys. The valleys which are lying between the Lesser Himalayas and Shivalik mountains are called dunes. Have you understand the definition of dunes? Dunes means valleys. Valleys. Where are these valleys? These valleys are located between the Lesser Himalayas and Shivalik ranges. The valleys lying between the Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks are known as dunes. Can you give me some of the important dunes? Some of the examples of dunes? One is Dehradun. Do you know Dehradun? It is the capital city of Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand capital city is Dehradun. That is a valley region. That is a valley region. Where is the valley region? That valley region is located between the Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks. So Dehradun is one of the example of dune. Next, Kotli Dune. Kotli Dune and Patli Dune. These are the different examples of dunes. Have you understand? Right? So this is the information about Himalayan ranges. These are the three ranges of Himalayas: Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas, and Shivaliks. Okay? We will see the next part. We will see in the next class. Okay? Thank you very much.